week 6 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few running backs I have as sleepers this week. The first running back, Kyle Monangai of the Chicago Bears. I know Monangai, the work really hasn't been there. We know he's the real backup for DeAndre Swift in Chicago is Monangai. And so far for the rookie, like I said, barely touching the football. But coming out of a bye week and Swift's numbers not that great, I think we could see more of a committee over there. And we saw it last season where Ben Johnson obviously was the offensive coordinator for the Lions. And he had Gibbs and David Montgomery as his two backs. So Monangai, the last few games, week 3 versus Dallas, 6 carries, 16 yards, a catch, 4 yards. And week 4 at Vegas, 4 carries, 18 yards. I know he was a late round pick. It was Monangai, 5th rounder coming out this season in the NFL draft. But like I said, if DeAndre Swift's not going to cut it, and Ben Johnson's used to using 2 running backs in his offensive system, and now we know rookies, after the bye week, they usually play more and in the playbook more. It wouldn't be surprising to me if Monangai's work goes up in this ball game. So if you need a deep sleeper with a lot of injuries at the running back position and a couple teams on bye this week, Monangai is sleeper out there in 95% of fantasy leagues. Next running back, Isaiah Davis of the New York Jets. So we know Breece Hall's the guy over there, but also Brandon Allen now. He's going to be out a while with a bad knee injury. And Isaiah Davis, he's going to get some work, especially on passing downs. That's his specialty, is Davis catching the football out of the backfield. Available in tons of leagues in 96%. And the last 2 weeks where he's seen the field with Allen out. Week 4, Miami, 3 carries, 9 yards, 2 catches, 18 yards. In week 5 versus the Cowboys, 1 carry, 5 yards, 3 catches, 28 yards. So he'll get some catches, is Isaiah Davis. The Jet team, worst team in the league right now, 0-5. Tough matchup versus Denver. They're going to be trailing early and often in London, I believe, and they're going to have to chase points in a lot of garbage time. And that's where Isaiah Davis could step in and get some points for fantasy owners. I'm not saying this guy's going to get a lot of work, but in terms of catching the football out of the backfield in PPR leagues is a sleeper. If you're in a pinch, I think Davis could be an okay option in deeper leagues. And the final running back I have is a sleeper, Rashad Smith of the Kansas City Chiefs. So Rashad Smith, I know they got Pacheco, Kareem Hunt ahead of him in the pecking order, but he's a good receiving back, former receiver in college, then converting to a running back. Out there in 88% of fantasy leagues. Week 4 versus Baltimore, 4 carries, 9 yards, 3 catches, 27 yards. And then week 5 at Jacksonville, a carry, 4 yards, 3 catches, 32 yards. Obviously passing down situations and some third down situations. Smith's in there for this Kansas City Chiefs team, and also he's a kick returner for them as well. So right now, well, he's out there in tons of fantasy leagues at 88%. And we've seen over the last couple of weeks reports come out that he's going to get more work, even though on that Monday night game he didn't. I think in a game versus the Lions where a lot of points are going to be on the board, I think we could see Smith get work in this ball game more. But like I said, with Pacheco and Hunt ahead of him, his ceiling is capped. But as a PPR deep sleeper, that's where Smith could help fantasy owners. That's a few running backs I have as sleepers for week 6 of the fantasy football season.